Beck quietly lifted the anchor and wrapped the rope around his cousin's ankle. If his rival disappeared, the family fortune worth hundreds of millions would eventually move closer to him. Just as he prepared to push the body overboard, a sudden cough behind him made him freeze. It was his first murder, and the fear was overwhelming. Yet Beck quickly realized how easy it could be. The yacht had no surveillance cameras, and without witnesses, the death would appear to be a tragic accident. To inherit the fortune, however, he still had 6 heirs standing between him and the inheritance. His next target was a cousin obsessed with photography. During dinner, Beck slipped into the darkroom and tampered with the developing chemicals. By mixing sulfur and potassium chloride in the tray, he created a deadly explosive reaction. He even planted a bottle of sulfur-based cleaner beneath the sink so investigators would blame a careless chemical mistake. Finally, he loosened the ceiling light bulb to create the spark needed to trigger the blast. Later that night, the cousin returned to finish developing photos and unknowingly activated the trap. With 2 heirs dead in such a short time, the FBI opened an investigation. When agents questioned Beck, he remained calm and collected. After all, there were still 5 heirs ahead of him, so no one would suspect him unless the accidents continued. Soon, Beck turned his attention to an uncle he had never met, a notorious rock star with a wild reputation. Disguising himself as a journalist, Beck arranged an interview. While his uncle was distracted, Beck slipped poison into the drink on the table. But the uncle suddenly grabbed a samurai sword, making Beck break into a cold sweat. Then he realized something. If the uncle truly suspected murder, he would have called the police. Instead, the man believed Beck was merely a paparazzi from a rival publication. Forced into a corner, Beck confessed that he was actually family. The uncle was stunned. To ease the tension, he casually picked up the poisoned drink and took a sip. Minutes later, Beck was one step closer to the inheritance. Now only 4 heirs remained above him. His next target was a wealthy aunt known publicly as a generous philanthropist, who had adopted 11 children from different countries. Behind the charitable image, Beck saw cruelty and manipulation. Terrified by the recent deaths in the family, the aunt installed an advanced laser security system in her mansion. But Beck discovered a weakness in her routine. Every Tuesday, she visited the same salon. Disguised as an employee, he secretly applied a lethal substance to her dentures during a treatment, killing her without leaving obvious evidence. After eliminating the only female heir, Beck focused on another relative, his grandfather's younger brother. Nearly 70 years old, the man was obsessed with flying planes and spending outrageous amounts of money on luxury adventures instead of caring for his employees. Before the old man's next flight, Beck slipped poison into his coffee, ensuring the wealthy pilot would never land again. The plan was working perfectly. Now only Beck's eldest uncle and his grandfather remained. But his eldest uncle had always treated Beck kindly. For the first time in his life, Beck had experienced genuine family affection. He no longer wanted to kill him. Fate, however, intervened. One day, the uncle suffered a fatal heart attack while walking down the stairs. Only one obstacle remained. That evening, Beck visited his grandfather. The old man looked exhausted. Realizing that the once crowded family had been reduced to just the 2 of them, without saying much, he led Beck into a bedroom and pulled an old hunting rifle from a cabinet. The weapon had belonged to Beck's great-grandfather and symbolized the leadership of the family. Now Beck had the perfect chance to finish everything. He raised the rifle and aimed at his grandfather's chest. But this time, he couldn't pull the trigger. The old man sighed, took the rifle back, and quietly told Beck to run as fast as he could. Confused, Beck hurried toward the front door only to find it locked. He rushed to a nearby window, but it was sealed shut as well.